And it's go, 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 go. Is
Yeah,
anybody there?
arriving somewhat later than planned.
Just a bit. Hang on. I can't even. Christ, I can't get this bloody bottle open. Hang on a wee second. Ugh.
We'll
Right.
just have a quiet moment while we wait for someone to
Just
show up.
let's collect ourselves. Right. According to
Yeah.
that, there is nobody actually watching that. So, it's up to two. Right, wait a minute. Why is my video making a noise? I'm just going to come out of this. Good evening. Yeah, I think it's live. Well, it is live because it says it's live. Good evening, one and all. Well, I was going to say apologies about the delay, but I don't think I actually told anybody I was going to do this. I was using my phone. As anybody that watches my channel knows, I've come off Facebook for a while. In fact, the funny thing is, I've come off it for a reason. But you know what? I don't miss it at all. Are you a big social media person?
No, I am not. I detest Facebook. It's something of a necessary evil for me, and most of the time, by which I mean 99% of the time, anything I post on Facebook is done purely to like rant about something and to try and annoy the woke generation in
You're
any
like
way I can.
you winding people up. I don't believe that for one bloody
Yeah, I
second.
know it's hard to imagine, isn't it? But yeah, I do it, and I suppose you got to say YouTube is social media, isn't it? So okay, yeah,
I suppose
we
it
both use that,
is.
but that
Yeah.
is it. Twitter, I would rather burn my face off than use Twitter. I mean, what is the point of that thing? What are you supposed to say that has any substance when you're limited to 180 characters?
I've never really figured out Twitter. I remember thinking I better get into it because all the cool kids use it, and even now I don't think I would actually know how to send a tweet. I know it's hashtag or something, but
Yeah, well, it's hashtag
don't.
bollocks. I don't know what any of it means. More importantly, I don't care what any of it means. I have no
Uh,
wish to find out how to use
uh,
it. I,
but anyway, listen. Thanks. As you know, I've got my old mate, Mr Lukozer, the grumpiest man in the internet.
even more so tonight. I'm not feeling that great tonight. Yeah, I'm not my usual cheery self. So,
I hope you've not got that coronavirus.
well, yeah, I may well do. Do you know, right? You've already started me off on another rant subject here. Do you know what the global number of people who actually have that is at the moment?
I think I'm sure I saw something in the news. Is it something like 100,000 or something?
Yeah, 100,000
In the world,
out
yeah.
of a global population of about 7.5 billion. And yet the way the news are reporting it, we're all going to be extinct next week. Fucking come on, give it a rest.
I'm positive that the hand sanitizer company have got some part to play in this.
Well, everywhere in Southend has sold out of it. Just about every supermarket round here has sold out of bog roll because it's a well-established fact that once you've got coronavirus, the actual symptoms are that you shit yourself to death. Why is everyone panic buying bog roll for fuck's sake?
What's concerning me is people have been washing their hands before this coronavirus became a thing.
Well, yeah, actually, that was something I was thinking about the other day. It's like, okay, suddenly everyone's panic buying, these hand washes and everything. So, what does that mean that only in the event of some supposed, worldwide epidemic of a killer disease, only then do you start washing your hands?
Well, according to one of my friends, his wife's a paramedic, and she says it's just it's a slightly more enhanced version or stronger version of flu. It's just a flu.
That's all it is. The
Yeah.
only people who are actually at risk are people who are, say, 70 or older and who are in bad health to begin with.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, there's something like 7,000 people in the UK die of the flu every year, but that never gets a mention in the news. And now we get this. Oh,
Somebody said something like, I don't know, there's I think there's more people die of starvation in the UK through homelessness than they do with coronavirus.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's the very epitome of making a mountain out of a molehill. Anyway, it's cheered me up no end, that subject. Yeah.
Anyway, we digress. Yeah. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, I've come off Facebook for a while. Just some shite going on. And I've not been on it for, I don't know, about a week, and I can't say I'm missing it in the slightest. And other than, I mean, it could be handy. Like, I mean, tonight I thought, right, I'd already spoke to you, Chris. I thought, right, we'll do a live waffle, and I thought I better tell somebody. So I used this thing, the phone, and I went to record like a 30-second video of me saying, join Chris and I tonight for a live waffle. And then it came up, you could do a post. And I thought, what the hell's that? And so it's like, basically, it's just a post. It's like a Facebook post. So I've posted it, but you're saying you couldn't see it. It looks like it's in the community section.
Yeah, it's in YouTube, complete with 8 p.m. start. But yeah, it's in YouTube. I couldn't see it at first. It is sort of buried away a bit.
So did you know? So it doesn't spring up. Did anybody else that's in the stream tonight? Did anybody else see my post on YouTube saying that we're going to be here at 8 o'clock tonight? I'm genuinely curious if anyone spotted it. I mean, I went to my channel, and you go to like along the top. It says community or something.
Yeah, the community tab. Yeah.
I've never actually seen that as a thing before on YouTube. I don't know.
I think I've used mine twice in about 5 years, so
aye.
It's not exactly an important.
All right, Mr. Rocks, he got it. Good man. All right, Colin saying nope. So anyway, yeah, apologies. That I did post. Thinking I was going to tell you that I was going to be here at 8 o'clock, but it's probably a blessing in disguise that it fucked up because or nobody saw it, because we were planning to start this at 8 o'clock sharp. Now, if you've seen the post, in fact, no, I didn't call the video. I didn't call the video what we're going to talk about. So we're going to include. Chris and I have been working on a video. How long for? I think we started it before Christmas.
It was before Christmas. It's near as damn. It's 3 months this thing's been going on for.
It's had a longer production process than Duke Nukem Forever, I think.
Let's just hope it turns out better than that fucking thing did.
Anyway, yeah, Chris and I we've been working on what do we call it? 10 of the worst sports games,
yeah,
and 16-bit home computers. So I thought to myself, why don't we just incorporate that into the Friday Waffle?
Yeah.
But can
I just quickly also point out, I had no idea that was going to happen. Yeah,
I tend to drop you in at the last minute. You up for a live waffle?
Exactly. I thought I was just going to be doing this, sitting here talking bollocks for like an hour or so, and the next thing I know, is I'm suddenly faced with, oh, okay, we're going to do the sports big one. So it is overdue. So
what's that?
It is overdue. So yeah, we should put it on there.
So yeah, what was meant to be an 8 o'clock start. And include the sports games has ran over somewhat, so it was more. I think it was about 9:15 when we kicked it off.
Yeah.
We've decided to do the sports games justice. We're going to do that. We'll put that video out next week, I think it is. So anyway, listen, thank you to everybody that's joined in tonight. Let's see who we've got in the stream. We've got Ox. Chris, can you see the comments? Yeah,
I can, including from Darth Mike, suggesting Emily Hughes International Soccer gets put in the 10 worst games. Oh, you're joking.
Bloody hell, that's a great game.
Yeah, it's a fantastic football game. There's no way that's going in there.
I hope unless of course he's talking about the Amiga one. I don't know what the Amiga one was like. I never saw
the Amiga one. I didn't even know there was an Amiga version of it.
But aye, there is. I loved that game. I mean, to be fair, graphically, it's never really moved on from international soccer. But what you could do, you could vary how hard you kick the ball. And what I really liked about it, you could like square the ball, so you could pass the ball along the ground. You could run up and kind of cross it and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
To be fair though, it did have the most convoluted, complicated, not control system, but see the actual front end. They tried to kind of make it like a mouse, is it a gem environment? It was like
Yes, well, yeah, Geos thing, yes.
yeah, it was a bit, and then you had to. I think you had to like you could. It was basically shit. The front end was shit, but the actual game was really really good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. That is actually the first time I've seen anyone say anything negative about that game. I think it's generally considered to be one of the best football games that came out for 64.
It was. I bought it and I loved it to bits. It was a great game. So
It's been years since I last played it. So
I actually did. I did put out a video of fucking hell. It was right at the start of when I started doing this channel. And what I did for a laugh, it was before I knew you, obviously, Chris. I think I called it like it was like different YouTubers, and I changed all the names.
Oh, right, okay.
I did my own commentary.
Well, you wouldn't have wanted me on anyone's side. Not at football.
You know, I had a comment on my Spectrum Next video tonight saying, what was it? I think I'll need to find a different retro gaming channel to watch. One that actually uses English as their native language.
All right, okay.
You fucker.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll miss him. I recently had somebody who's been sort of slightly moaning about the videos that I've been putting on my channel, and I just think I'll put whatever video I fucking want on there. You know, I don't let other people dictate what it's going to be.
Until you start paying me money to do this, then you're not entitled to an opinion. Well, you are entitled to opinion, but don't even think for 1 second you're going to pay any attention to it.
Yeah. I'm not the sort who will ask for money on the channel. No way. I'm not. You know, I won't set up a what do you call it, Patreon thing.
Well, I don't mind admitting I am up. I mean, I've monetized my channel now since, when did it be? It'd be over a year, and I'm now up to £175.
Well, over a year. That's great going. That, yeah. I wouldn't plan your retirement just yet.
No, that's. I've always. I don't know what it is with YouTubers, but YouTubers seem to be fiercely protective about how much money they make. Or in the case of me, how little money I make.
I would say, well, it's easy for me to add up how much I make from it. Absolutely fuck all.
I just thought, well, you know what, if I can get something, but, you know, I mean, the only thing is I don't actually know how to physically get the money out. All I can see is it's this sum of money.
Knowing such schemes like this, it probably has to reach a certain amount before you can touch it.
I think it's over 60 quid or something, it is.
How much?
I think it's over £60, I think it is. So
that's
I can technically with more than money if I actually had the wherewithal to figure out how to do it. I keep thinking I should really do it before YouTube gets taken down or something.
That might be an idea, yeah.
So there you go, yeah, it was February, I think. No, wait a minute, when was it? Was it over a year? Was it June? No, I think it's actually June 2018. I've been monetized since, so that would be...
So it's about a year and a half.
About a year and a half.
That.
And £25 of that money was generated last month through my Spectrum Next video.
All right, okay. If you can get 25 quid per video, then yeah, maybe it won't be so bad.
It just goes to show if you want to sell yourself out, then just make videos of in Minecraft or whatever, and you'll get views. You know what I mean? But you've got to do. I couldn't do that because you've got to do stuff that you enjoy talking about.
So yeah, if I was interested in views, then yeah, I'd be playing something a lot more popular than fucking Elite Dangerous. That's for sure.
or 10 of the worst sports games on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what the last retro review I did. I think it was Black Shadow. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That is never going to be a popular one. Amiga shoot 'em up. I know you've played it because I saw it in one video you did where you were going through a load of
Oh, the Mega
different
Kill,
shoot 'em
I think it
ups.
was, aye.
And yeah, your opinion of it is pretty much the same as everybody else's. It's a fucking pile of shit.
I can't even remember. I can't even recall playing it.
I think if you see it, you'll bring the memories flooding back, and then you'll hate me for reminding you that it exists. So yeah, I wouldn't go looking for it. Yeah.
I've got to say, I absolutely loved your intro to the Elite the other day there. Did you make that up yourself, aye?
Well, that I mean, I've been using that intro for Elite Dangerous videos now for it's got to be over a year. Anyone watching this who's not familiar with it, it's basically a shitting hippo. And the first time I used it, a very familiar story to Elite Dangerous players. They brought out an update, and it was absolutely fucked up. It bugged so many, so many new features didn't work properly. Old bugs had all come back again. It was an absolute clusterfuck. And I was saying at some point, oh yeah, I heard from somebody who had tried it out, and they sent me this video giving their opinion of it. Here it is, cut to the shitting hippo, and and I thought that video is too good to use just once, so it became my introduction for every Elite Dangerous video I
Did you have
did.
the sound effects by any chance? No.
No, they were already on the video there.
Yeah. You need to watch that next one. I think what we need to do, I'm very, very conscious. Every time I do a live stream, I say I invite people to join us, and then we completely forget.
And then we completely forget the comment. I remember the last one. We had I don't know how many comments, and we kept forgetting to even look at them.
Yeah, so just very quickly, we've got Ox, we've got Colin, we've got Venga Boys are back in town. I've always called it face brag. Yeah, that kind of sums up Facebook. That's why I hate it so much.
I'm thinking plenty of other words to describe it as well. Yeah.
Colin has put hashtag grumpy, obviously referring to you, Chris, not me.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, that's me.
We've got Ben Freeman. Venga Boys are back in town saying hi, Alan and Luke. Darth Mike, coronavirus is a cover-up for the Mars Mushroom Men. What? Does that mean anything to you?
I don't know. I'm wondering if he's been on the mushrooms himself there with that one.
Darth, if you'd like to expand on what you mean. Retro Russ, good evening, sir. Ox got the YouTube message, at least somebody got it. Colin's saying, nope, the first I knew was the notification. Let's see, we've got Andy, evening Andy. We've got the oldest person on YouTube, Ian Hunter. Sorry, and that's gonna annoy you when I say things like that because I can't be far off. I think you and I must be pretty much up there as certainly probably some of the oldest retro people YouTube things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a sprightly 47, so yeah. I'm a little way behind you.
What the hell? Retro Russ is asking, is that a Vectrex behind you, Alan? Next to the iCade. It is indeed. Oh yeah, you can see it. It is. That's Mighty Vectrex. Lovely machine. I was actually playing it last night. Not last night, the night before. It's one of these machines because I love it so much. I don't want to break it, so I tend not to play it very much.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a bash on it every now and then, but again, I would stick. Although with the Vectrex. Emulation doesn't even come remotely close to being as good as playing the real thing.
No, but have you ever played a real Vectrex?
I remember playing a demonstration one back when it was new out. What was that, about 81, 82?
I think it was 82 it came out.
So yeah, I remember, and I was absolutely hooked on it as soon as I tried it out. I really wanted to get one, but no, we didn't.
I remember, I've got a very, very distinct memory of going into, it was called Rolco, which was basically Rolco was like the
Rolco, yeah.
It was like Woolworths. It sold, I actually worked, that was my first ever job. It sold everything. It sold sporting equipment, furniture, clothes, food, jewellery, I mean, it even sold bloody mopeds. We used to drive the mopeds running in the loading bay. It sold everything in a cafe. It was a brilliant choice. I used to go up there on Christmas Eve and get all my Christmas presents through Wilco. It was great.
Yeah, it's only half of
Um,
Southend, I think.
Aye, what was I talking about there? I've just completely forgot.
The Vectrex.
And I remember before. I mean, I don't know what age I'd be. I don't know, 14 or something, going into Wilco, and there was this. Obviously, it was a Vectrex, and it was in this stand thing, and I didn't really know what to make of it because I don't think they knew what to do with it either because it wasn't with other video games. I mean, they had in like the electronics department, as they called it. You had the TVs, and you had the what do you call it? You had the Atari 2600 running.
Yeah, that was probably about the only other console that was really well known at the time.
Aye, and also had was it the
like the ColecoVision?
Magnavox, not the Magnavox Odyssey. What was it called? The
the Philips one, the video pack.
Aye, the video pack.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
I've actually got two of them in the cupboard. Never even opened them.
So do you know if they even work?
I tell you, like, they do work. They do work.
Okay. Yeah. I remember playing on a demonstration version of the video pack as well, and I forget. I think it was Outlaw was the game that was running on it, and I did quite like it. I mean, it wasn't that different to the Atari 2600, really, but I remember the television adverts for the Philips Video Pack board games. I think one was Quest for the Rings, and the other one was a futuristic one, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was called. But yeah, I never actually saw those games running, so I haven't got a clue what.
I'll need to dig it out and actually do a video. I think I did do a video. I think I've got a bad habit of buying stuff, and then I'll do a me Mr Lukozer, and then it gets put in a cupboard and never ever sees daylight ever again.
It sounds a bit like a lot of the games that I do reviews of.
How morbid am I? I took my daughter up to Starbucks tonight, and as I was
that sounds morbid to begin with. Going to Starbucks, yeah.
Well, I know. And she was talking about, is it TikTok or something? She said it's like a sort of a mini YouTube thing. But anyway, she said that she's made videos on TikTok, and I got talking about YouTube and that, and and I said to her, I says, you know what? One thing you need to remember, Ava, I says, if anything happens to me, I need you to go onto YouTube and make a video and tell people I've kicked the bucket. I says, because all that's going to happen is there will be no more videos, and people will be like, where is he?
There probably will be a bit of that, yeah.
Yeah, no, so if there's not a Friday Waffle, it's probably because I'm dead, you know. But what was I going to say? But anyway, more importantly than that, so she did say she was going to take my login details and put a video out to say that I've died. But I was talking about my collection, and I says, well, you know, obviously if I kick the bucket, everything that's in this house is hers. And I says, for God's sake, I says, don't throw stuff out. I says, not that the stuff that I've got is particularly valuable, but it's all the wee shitty things, little adapters, and to any non-geek like you and I, you would just go, what the hell's that? Bin. People would just get a bin bag and they would just throw
just chuck it all in.
I don't know. Have you ever? Well, you've not got a kind of a collection of stuff, have you? You're more just kind of PC, I think, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I've got plenty of old PC stuff laying around. Although, to be honest, a lot of that does deserve putting in a fucking bin bag and getting shot of. But yeah, like the older computers. Last time we did one of these, I did have an Amiga 600. And I can't remember where it came from because I didn't have a 600 back in the day. I started off with a 500. I got that in '87, so it was like a really early Amiga 500. I mean, it had Kickstart 1.2, and I never bothered upgrading the Kickstart or anything. Then I got rid of that and replaced it with a 1200. But I never had a 600. So where this 600 came from, I haven't got the faintest idea. But then I went and sold it anyway, so...
Did you not put like a CF card in it at all, or did you sell it a long time ago?
No, just sold it as it was. I don't even know if it worked.
Yeah. Talking about old systems, this isn't an old system. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody sent me a photograph of an auction on eBay that had just ended, and it was for a
I
Spectrum
think.
Next,
Oh, okay, right.
and it was it? I'll tell you exactly how much it apparently went for. Let's see if I can find it. I've just had a message from Brian. You okay, Alan? I'm absolutely fine there, Brian. I was just fucking about trying to get the sports video put out. Wait a wee minute. This, yeah, hang on. Yeah, here we go. Spectrum Next. Don't know if you can see that. Probably not.
Well, £2,000.
£2,050. Sorry, you missed out on this item. There was 50 bids.
If it went for over £2,000, I wouldn't be that sorry that I missed out on it. Oh.
£2,050. There's lots of people. I think the average price is about £500. And you know what? I mean, if somebody was wanting to give me £2,000 for it, they could have it right.
I was going to say, if I had one, here, it's yours.
You know, I mean, my girlfriend said to me, I was telling her about I'm going for £500, and she's like, "Well, why don't you just sell it and then just put £200 aside, and then you can buy another one?" And you know that makes sense. Part of me thinks to myself, I mean, I hate people who specifically buy just to sell for
Oh,
themselves.
yeah.
Though technically, is it any different from anything else? I don't know, but so I think, I wouldn't, you know, there's no way I would sell it. But I mean, come on, if somebody was willing to give me £2,000 for a Spectrum Next,
oh yeah, I wouldn't hesitate. Yeah, it's yours.
Unbelievable. I mean, I think I don't know. It's not worth £2,000. I don't care what it is. I mean, who would bid for that kind of money? It's obviously people with more money than sense.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You know, I suppose it's like, well, it's a supply and demand. If you create a demand for something, but you can't physically get a hold of the thing, then people just go apeshit for it, and they would pay ridiculous. I mean, we've all done it. I've bought stuff on eBay, and you're like, oh fucking hell, you know, and you end up going above what you want to spend in it.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've not been too bad at doing that. Largely because I'm often skint, but no. If I see something on eBay, I mean, I haven't used eBay for years. I'm not a fan of it, but if I saw something on there and I wanted it, I would just say, right, I've got a very specific price in mind, and I'm not going any higher than that. So I just put in the maximum straight away. If it goes past that, then yeah, I missed out on that one.
Have you ever had buyer's remorse?
Well, in as far as buying something and then wishing I hadn't.
Instantly regretting it and go,
yeah, I'm trying to think of an example. I know I've definitely had it though, but I can't remember anything actually off the top of my head. Not recently, thankfully.
It's funny how I was. I bought an iPad Pro. I got a wee bonus from my work about 3-4 years ago. The one and only bonus I got, and what was it? It was about £500, and I thought to myself, you know, what did I just use the money and buy messages? And I thought, nah, fuck it, I'm going to. In fact, I'll tell you exactly what it was. I'd got this money, and then I took my daughter into Edinburgh, and being a kid of like 13, 14 at the time, she wanted to go to the Apple store, so. And then she was looking at these iPads, and then she saw this iPad Pro, which is like size. And then the guy came across, oh, can I help you? And I went, oh, what does this do? And he showed me it working, and I thought, we're just looking, and I thought, fuck it. I bought it. So I bought it.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And but anyway, cut a long story short, obviously when me and the missus split up, the iPad that I bought for me and Ava became Ava's. When we separated, you know, Ava was using it all the time, so I effectively lost my iPad Pro. And then last year, I took out a bank loan just to sort of reconcile some debt. And I thought, I want to treat myself to something. I thought, I'm going to get an iPad Pro again because I wanted one, and obviously I'd bought one, but I never actually got to use it because I gave it to my daughter. Excuse me. So I went to the Apple store, and I'm trying to think what it was. Yeah, I was looking at it, and I was looking at them, and I couldn't see any the say as big as the one I'd had previously. So then the guy came across, and was telling him what I was wanting. I says I was wanting the bigger one, and he says, "Oh, this one it's £1,200," and I'm like, "Oof."
Oh yeah, ta-da. Yeah.
I mean, I'd kind of set a budget. I thought like maybe 500 kind of maximum. And he's like, "Oh, it's £1,200," and I'm like, and then my girlfriend's like, "Well, it's your money," and yeah, I'm a great believer, Chris. I mean, I've been around the block a few times, and I think to myself, you know what? You only get one shot at life. Money is for spending. It's not for saving. I've not got a pension or anything. I'm just an arsehole. I work hard. I work damn hard, and I don't have to justify to anybody what I spend my money on. So I thought,
oh yeah, I totally go along with that.
It's not money. I'm going to buy what I want. So I don't go drinking. I don't play golf. I don't go to football or anything like that at all. So anyway, and it's like £1,200, and I'm like, oh fuck. And I thought, and I was, I was kind of teetering on the edge of saying, fuck it, just go for it. Then my girlfriend said to the guy, Have you not got any? What do you call it? Like second-hand ones. So the guy
refurbished jobs.
Yeah. He went, "Oh yeah, hang on a second." So he went on to like the refurb store, whatever it's called, and he goes, "Oh, here's one here for £700." Now that might still sound like a shitload of money, which it is.
Yeah, but it's a £500 saving.
1,200, and then it suddenly goes to 700. It's like, whoa, half price. Yeah. So I thought, I'll have that. So I says, fuck it, yeah, I'll take it. And the guy says, "Oh no, you can't. We can't buy stuff at the Apple store. You've got to do that online yourself." And I went, right, okay, fair enough. I'll go home and buy it. And see, within about 5 minutes of leaving the store, I'd already convinced myself that I didn't. I thought, I'm not spending £700 on an iPad. I was desperate for it, and then 5 minutes later, I mean, I had like buyer's remorse before I even bought it, and then after 5 minutes, I thought, I'm glad I've just saved myself £700. It turns out I got one for £300 on eBay. Exact model.
So you end up saving £900.
Aye. But it just shows you, what I mean. Yeah, I mean, I've had buyer's remorse a few times. I think I can. I don't know. I never have to justify it myself if it's like. I mean, I don't buy that much, and then I'll maybe go daft. I'll maybe go for months not buy anything, and then like last month I got the Spectrum Next was bought and paid for 3 years ago, and then I bought that portable Spectrum thing, and then I bought the T. So I'll maybe someone will come along and go, fuck, I'm going to buy that. But I can go for months and months and months and months and months and not buy anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the sweet spot for me is about up to £200. If it goes beyond that, I start getting a bit itchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean.
I mean, I've got a mate. He spent. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you'll know who it is. He spent. I think it was it £2,500, £3,000 on a pinball table, and it is really awesome. It's an absolute awesome pinball table. But
is it one of the actual official
Star Trek New Generation pinball table?
I remember that one. That was a fucking good one. Yeah,
it's a fantastic thing.
Yeah,
but I couldn't justify, just to contradict what I've just said. It's my money. I'll do what I want. But I couldn't justify. No.
Yeah, as much as I like it, £3,000. I don't know.
But you know what? Like I says, it's there's people go out for a night out and they'll spend £200 on a night out. So it's all. As I maintain, whatever you buy, it doesn't matter how much it is. If you use it, then it's worth it. I've bought shitloads of stuff in the past, and I never ever use it, and that's a waste of money, regardless of how little it is. And it's like
I got plenty of examples of that on my Steam account. Yeah.
Go on then. How many games have you got in Steam?
Well, it hasn't gone up since last week. I think didn't I mentioned something about that before? I can't remember.
I think you did. I was at 500. You said
it's not quite as high as 500. Just wait for it to actually come up. Because I can never remember how many. Oh, it is 455.
Ah, I wasn't far off.
And I haven't even played a quarter of them.
That's insane.
There's a comment on the side here. This was posted a few minutes ago by Ox. I can't think why, but Lukozer reminds me of an old Doctor Who character. Now, there's a very good reason for that. The name is from an old Doctor Who. I won't say which one. We'll leave it for people who are vaguely interested to try and figure out. But yeah, it's from the classic era, not from the new Who stuff.
John Pertwee.
Not as old as John Pertwee. It was a crap Doctor, let's be honest, and it was a crap story.
McCoy, is it? No.
Not quite as bad as Sylvester McCoy.
So, you're saying that you look like this character?
I don't know about looking like him, but that is where the name came from. But I spelt it differently. In Doctor Who, I think it was spelt Lukoser. But yeah, so I just changed the S to a Z. Originally, it was purely by accident. I thought that was how it was spelt, and I just stuck with it. Yeah. But yeah, that is where it came from.
Country Road is saying the Jimmy Savile era. What's that about?
Well, the Jimmy Savile era, I guess, was the 70s, wasn't it? No, it wasn't the 70s.
I was telling my girlfriend all about, well, obviously everybody knows about Jimmy Savile, and I was trying to look for. Have you ever seen that video, Louis Theroux when he meets him?
I saw a bit of it. I'm not a big Louis Theroux fan. I'm more of a fan of him than I was of Jimmy fucking Savile, that's for sure. But
somebody actually commented. I think it was. In fact, it might have been on Facebook. Somebody said, "What was it? What was there any one thing that you did in the 80s that would be shocked upon or looked upon with shock?" And somebody said they wrote to Jimmy Savile, as I did as well. I wanted to go into orbit. I actually wanted to go on one of these zero gravity planes.
Oh, okay, right, and that didn't, and it didn't happen.
Back to me.
Well, I did a review a few years ago of a game called Super Trolley, which had the Jimmy Savile collection, because the kid who came up with the idea wrote the Jim will fix it for it to become a game. And if you've ever played it, you'd wonder why the fuck anyone wanted to turn it into a game. But yeah, in my review of it, you look through the comments and it's just a slew of Jimmy Savile bloody jokes and everything. I mean, yeah, everyone who commented on that one, they were all really on form for that dude.
Oh, I love that program though. That's the thing though. But even as a kid, you knew there was just something not quite right about him. Eh?
No, yeah, there was always something about him I just didn't like. I didn't like the program Jim Will Fix It because I seem to remember it was on early Saturday evenings, and I was always sitting there impatiently waiting for it to finish so that Doctor Who would start afterwards. So yeah, I was not a fan of that one.
Anyway, moving swiftly on, let's
Darth Mike. Super Trolley's at the Savile game, yeah. Codemasters or Mastertronic. I think it was Mastertronic who released it. Pretty sure it was.
Let me have a wee look. What's it called again? Super Trolley.
Yeah. Retro Russ, the blonde curly hair one Baker, going back to the Doctor Who. Yes, it was a Colin Baker era story, and yeah, he was crap. And he was better than Sylvester McCoy, but yeah, he wasn't good.
Tell you what we can do, because we can, let's use this streaming thing.
You've gone silent. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you.
That's better. For some reason, it muted the mic. Can
Oh,
you hear
okay,
me?
yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
No, I don't know what happened. I didn't mean to do that.
Okay,
Right,
I was thinking it was my end. I'm going checking all my
nah,
sounds and everything.
right, I'm going to share a picture. Hang on a second. Let's see if I can find the application video. Can you see that?
Yes, well, the
You see
cover
it?
was there. It was there. There it is. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Oh,
I seen on BBC's Double Fix It. Deary me.
yeah, not something you'd want to. You wouldn't. Yeah, want to be advertising that now.
Recorded on BASF tape.
But I mean, if you ever played the game, and trust me, it really is one of those games where if you played it once, you would never want to go anywhere near it again. You just think, I mean, you can well imagine, obviously, on the television program, I think it was one of the Darling brothers who was on there. Um, you can bet your life they would have said something like, "Oh, this is a great idea for a game." It's not. It's a shit idea. What it is, it's you're basically going around, you know, stacking shelves in a supermarket. Who the fuck wants to play a game like that?
Well, according to this, it's got three-dimensional graphics, and it's also got stunning sound effects and music. And it's addictive.
There are no sound effects at all, and the music really does have you envying the deaf. It's horrendous.
So there are no sound effects in the game.
No, there's no sound effects at all. It's just
How can they get away with saying there's stunning sound effects?
I can only assume that blurb appears on all of the versions because there certainly aren't any in the 64 version.
The 64 one, right? I was going to suggest I play it, but I think you've just talked me out of actually wasting any time.
Yeah, watch a video of it, and you'll have seen enough. Retro Russ asking, was it on Specky 2? Yes, and I think it was also on the Amstrad as well.
I'm just going down some of the comments. I wish this thing would scroll. Does it keep scrolling down the comments?
It does on mine.
Who's the
weird? I have to keep scrolling up to check what I may have missed.
Country Road is saying, who is the weird bloke with a beard?
Right, which one of us is that actually referring to?
Well, maybe he's referring to Jimmy Savile tape from he didn't have a beard, did he?
No, well, there you go.
Anyway, right, listen, what we're going to do, we did say we were going to probably bring this to a close at 10 o'clock. Well, it's now 10 o'clock just now. Have you got time for questions on my last week's Waffle, Chris? Is that all right?
Yeah, go on then. We'll give that a bash.
So, yeah. Right, let's have a wee look. I was going to say now then. Right, hang on. Let's have a wee look. Right, Batman. This is from last week's Friday Waffle. My topic for a future Waffle is this. Do you feel that the next gen of machines will be a big leap on from the current gen? I don't think the current gen was that big a leap from the PS3 360. Others may disagree. Shifts in generations used to be massive. Now they're very small. What are your thoughts on this? And what do you think was the biggest generation shift? What's your thoughts on that, Chris? I mean, what was the biggest technology leap as far as video games or consoles? Or I know you're not a console fan. What would you say was the biggest leap for you?
I think for me, and it's partly because for about 3 or 4 years I lost all interest in computers. So I went from an Amiga. I think I stopped using the Amiga around 94, somewhere like that. And then it was a few years, and then in 98 when I got my first PC, and I saw how much games had changed then. So things like what was the 3D card I had in my first PC? I think it was a Voodoo Banshee. No, it wasn't. It was a Voodoo Rush I had, and I was playing stuff like Unreal for the first time. And I just thought, right, yeah, this is a huge step up from what I'd been playing on the Amiga. But like I say, that's probably because I'd gone like 5 years or so without really following what was happening in as far as gaming. Um, Recently, I can't think of anything that has been a particularly impressive leap. I certainly don't think the next generation console is going to show much of a visual improvement or audible improvement over the current gen. Certainly the games themselves won't, because all of the publishers now all play it safe, so it's all going to be exactly the same type of games as we've had for like the last 10 years or so. So I just don't see there being anything impressive forthcoming in the next gen of those.
I'm kind of the same. I mean, I think for me I think it's hard to tell. I think the biggest sort of going from that to that for me was probably going from a C64 to the Atari ST. I know maybe other people might not think, well, there's not that much of a difference, but for me that was massive because, you know, a lot of the C64 games obviously were quite blocky graphics, and I always remember it's always stuck with me. There was a magazine, I can't remember what magazine it was, and it was before the Atari ST was out. I mean, I think it might have been released, but it was like way out of my price bracket. And there was a photograph of it was in progress international karate on the Atari ST,
right?
And it just looked absolutely mind blowing. It's like, Jesus, it was like, you know, somebody had painted a picture. And to compare it with like someone on the C64 to this,
oh yeah, it was a big difference.
One that I think that probably even preceded that, and I'm sure Jeff Minter actually must have read the same article. It was a computer magazine. Don't know what it was. I think it was quite a serious computer magazine, Commodore User or something. And there was a photograph of Marble Madness on the Commodore Amiga.
Oh well. That was a game that I actually got bundled with my Amiga 500 when I got that in '87. And as far as I was concerned, and to a degree I still am, it was nigh on identical to the coin-op. And when you consider that we'd been playing the Commodore 64 version before then, which was absolute garbage, this was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So I did think the 16-bit version of Marble Madness, that was really impressive. Well, the Amiga one was. ST one, not so much.
And I mean, the fact that it was using the mouse to control it as well, just awesome. But I think that, I mean, I've recounted this story multiple times. I decided at that point, after seeing the international karate screenshot, I'm like, I need to get one of these. I need to get one of these. So the only way to get it was to sell my C64 and buy it on credit. You know what I mean? So I did that, and I told my mate that I was going to be buying one. I was going to be getting it in a couple of months' time. And then I was in the pub with my mate one night, and he said to me, he says, "Oh, I've got a surprise. Come back." And he went back to his bit, and he opened up his bedroom door, and there was this Atari ST. And it was running, what was the game? It was running Arkanoid.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Wow. Because, I mean, Arkanoid is an absolute stunning conversion. I know it probably doesn't really push the machine that well, but it just looked, it was like, I mean, I'd never seen it in the arcade, but to go from a C64 game to Arkanoid, the mouse, everything about it was just like, holy shit, this is something special.
Yeah. So I remember the first time I saw an Atari ST, it was running Starglider. And the thing that completely blew me away about that was the fact it had singing in the music on the title page. I'd never heard a computer do anything like it. So that that really blew me away. But it did make me think that Atari ST audio must be fucking amazing,
Yeah,
and of course,
yeah,
it wasn't.
yeah. And that's the kind of bittersweet part for me. And I did mention it. I did mention it in a video a few weeks ago. I got the Atari ST and I was like, oh, I couldn't wait to get it home. And then I loaded up, I don't know what the fuck it was, I loaded up another, no, yeah, I'll tell you what it was. And it's a game I think that's featured in one of our videos, Prohibition. Utterly,
I
utterly
think
unplayable.
it was one that we did together when we were doing the
Aye,
20 worst games of all time or
aye. And
something.
it's just utterly unplayable. You move the mouse and the screen goes, whoa, and it just,
Yeah.
it's impossible. And the title music for that is just shit. And then it turns out that just exactly what you were saying. I thought when I heard Starglider, like that, I've got a computer that can actually have real sound, that can have real singing, real instruments.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, I didn't know what digitization was. I had no idea that.
No, at that time I had no idea
I didn't
either.
know what that was. All I knew was this was playing real music. I mean, I got a couple of discs, and it was. Is it Foreign Affair? I think it was. It wasn't Kirsty McCall. It was Mike Oldfield, and it was this girl singing. And again, like, wow, the sound in this machine's amazing. Little did I know that the actual inbuilt sound in the ST was pretty shit.
Yeah.
It felt like a massive, massive backward step going from the C64 that had Monty on the running Commando to this plinky plonky chip tune thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't good.
You know, so I think for me, going from please tell us a squash club story. Squash club story. I can't remember. I have no idea what that was. The 1942 cab. All right, I'll tell you about that in a second. Well, yeah. So I think the biggest leap for me was going from the C64 to the Atari ST. But we'll forget the sound. The sound was disappointing. But then when I eventually sold, I traded in my Atari ST and I got an Amiga and had to pay more money. That was like, whoa, that's when it really just, that's what the ST should have been.
Yeah.
The good sound, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember, the guy whose Atari ST it was when I first heard Starglider. It was actually Starglider 2. That if you bought that, the same disc, you could run it on either an ST or an Amiga. And at that point, I had my Amiga, so he brought this game over and we were playing it. I could never get into Starglider 2. I thought it was. I just thought it was really boring and that. But he was raving about it. And he heard the sound on the Amiga version compared to the ST one that he was used to. That weekend, he got rid of his ST and bought an Amiga just on the sound of that one game.
I think I remember Starglider 2. I was like you. I never really quite got into it, but it was quite atmospheric. I think you could sort of fly up into space, and there was a lot of like whales or something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, these space whales that were fly around the sun or whatever.
It had quite atmospheric sound, but again, I never really kind of got into the game. But
yeah, the game was too different from the original, I think, and it felt quite slow as well. Whatever you were doing, it was never in any sort of real rush.
Yeah. No, I do remember that, but never really got into it too much. But going back to kind of what we're talking about with the like I mean, I'll be honest. When I got like I'm trying to think. I think the next big kind of jump for me was when I got my graphics accelerator on the PC, because before that, the PC you had, you know, if you had a fast machine, you could run Super VGA graphics. It could always ramp up the game to Super VGA, and it would run like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. Was it I can't remember. Was it the Voodoo 2 or something like that? And I think it came with it was a motorbike game. I can't remember what it was called. And that just looked incredible. That looked absolutely incredible. But then every step since then, I think when I got the Xbox 360, to me, that was like putting a powerful machine. It was like taking a powerful PC and allowing you to run it on the TV. And I thought the Xbox 360 was great. But every incarnation since then. It's just like, I mean, my mate was across last night, and we were playing Forza 4 on the Xbox One, and I mean the graphics are just absolutely exquisite. They're stunning. But you know what? I was bored stiff after 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. It's all show and very little substance.
Yeah, well,
Basically,
that's why I still prefer the old games. Sorry, I better Country Zodus is going to sleep probably because he's asking me about my story with the squash club in 1942. It's not really an exciting story at all. Not when I used to play squash with a couple of mates. There was a 1942 cab. And we used to, obviously 2 people were playing squash, and what we used to do is that the person that wasn't playing would play 1942, and we were all like good at it that we could basically have the whole hour with just 1 credit. So that was it. So basically we had that many extra men. By the time we swapped over, the other guy had to run to the machine and take over before we kind of died. But that was it. Nothing exciting.
Yeah.
So
it's now a good time to mention I can't stand 1942.
Really? When wash your mouth out with soap on that. What, you don't like 1942?
No, I hate it.
Really?
Yeah, I just thought it was really bland and boring, and the sound effects were really dreary, and it did nothing for me at all.
See, I like the whole purist aspect of it. I mean, do you like 1943 and 1941? I think.
Well, perhaps unsurprisingly, my opinion of 1942 meant I never played 43. I didn't even know there was one that came after that.
There was 43 and there was 41. Yeah, I mean, are you a shmup fan?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say I was for the most part. Yeah, but
I mean, you love Juno First, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, Juno First, I think is great. I don't know what it is about 1942. It just didn't grab me. It never did. So
I think, yeah. I mean, it's one of these games. It does look quite bland. It's but what I like about it is I'm really old school. The reason I don't like 1941 and what's the one that Graham mentioned, 1944 Loop Master as well. It's called. These all have a power bar. So you think you're doing great, and what you're actually getting hit all the time, and you don't realise it. And you also get power-ups really quickly, and that's the thing that always irks me about shoot-'em-up games. I love games where you've got to earn a power-up. Some of these games, you power up really, really quick.
Well, the one that springs to mind there is Salamander, but I actually quite like Salamander.
You can get it. I was playing that at Arcade Club a few weeks ago, and you can get some fuck-off weapons, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, like the first wave of enemies come along, and you've got 2 multiples of force field and ripple laser while you're going through the first level. So it's
as impressive as that is, I like the purest aspect of 1942 is you get hit, you're dead. You lose 3 lives, you're dead.
Yeah.
You've got to earn the power ups. I think it's on the 3rd wave you eventually get the 2 little planes that join you. So you've really got to earn it.
I never got anywhere near to that sort of stage.
I used to be. It's one of these games I can play. I could have 10 games of it. 9 of them I'll get 10,000, and the other one I'll get maybe 200,000. It's just it's a game I've played a lot. But just I'm completely going off topic here. Have you ever heard of Starcade? Have you ever watched it?
I can't say I have.
Right, well, you need to watch it. Starcade was a program that came out in the 1980s. It was in America, and it's basically a quiz program, but you answer questions and you play video games.
Oh well, yeah, we had something similar to that over here, didn't we? Like when they were playing hypersports levels.
You're thinking of First Class.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I could never remember the title of it.
What was her name again? Well, not Debbie.
Debbie Greenwood, I think it was.
Debbie Greenwood.
Yeah, she was a reason to watch it. That was for sure.
was going to say Debbie McGee, but that's
no, that wouldn't be a reason to watch it.
Anyways, Starcade, it's quintessentially 80s. It's fantastically cheesy. It's pure Americans. Like at the start, the what do you call it? Not the commentator, the host, and the two people taking part. They actually run onto the set, and then they run from like machine to machine, and it's brilliant. But
I'll take your word for
it. You need to watch it. You absolutely need to watch it. But you know what? They've completely they basically play three. They have like 5 games. They'll have like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, whatever. And then the two contestants answer. They get asked a question. Whoever gets the question right gets to pick the first game. So say if it was you and I pick, you get it right. Oh, I'll play Donkey Kong. So you'll play Donkey Kong, I'll play Donkey Kong, and they remember the score. And then the next time, whoever gets it right, you'll pick the second game and add. And what they've done is instead of saying, right, you get 1 point because you've won that round, what they do is they add up all the scores of all the games. Now, you know yourself.
Yeah, so supposing someone chose Outrun.
Yeah, Space Invaders. And this is the remarkable thing. You get, I think, is it 45 seconds? That's how long you play it. You play Space Invaders for 45 seconds, I will guarantee you'll be lucky to get 300 points.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know these games weren't out when this program was out, but there's a game, Gunbird. It's a shoot 'em up. If you play that, you will get like 5 trillion. You'll get like 10 million after 50 seconds. So what was basically happening was one person might do the best at 2 games, but it was whoever did the best on the game that had the biggest skinny.
Yeah, had the ridiculously high scores. Yeah,
it was completely broken the way they worked it. But some of the prizes were great. They would sometimes play for an arcade game, or like the one I was watching last night. They were playing for a robot. It was like a mini R2D2. It was like a robot, It was...
All right, okay. Don't recall ever seeing too many of them around South End.
You need to watch it. You absolutely need to watch it. In fact, I wonder. Wait a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link to this. Just let me just have one little second. I'll have it somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Let's have a look. Where have I put my stuff? Right, retro programs. I'll just watch it for 10 seconds. Retro programs. So how many? Can you actually tell how many are in the channel, Chris?
No, all I can see are the comments. But
comments. Have you got any other comments coming in at all?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of them. Let's scroll up and see what what we've missed.
Right, here we
Graham Cowie, Blood Money sorted all the audio rivalry out. Do you think one day me and Graham Cowie will actually agree on something? I hate the music in Blood Money.
I'm going to turn up this so you can hopefully hear it.
Okay.
Starring your favorite video games and some brand new ones.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
And now, here's your host for Starcade, Jeff Edwards.
Jeff Edwards. All right, yeah.
God, yeah. If there are any Americans who are watching this,
fantastic. Let's see what they're going to play for.
Nice studio audience. Nice to see you here at home. And who do we have here today? We have
Dion Crow. I'm Dion Crow, and I'm 12 years old.
She's that smart, she didn't even know her own name.
Your hobbies are wrestling? I know there's a joke there someplace, but not me. I will not.
I think he is the joke, isn't he?
Dearie me. Thing is, there's adults take part in it as well.
I wish you'd found one of those. I have to say, I'm not sold on it so far.
Hey, look at that. That's what you can win, a programmable robot.
Oh, is that what it is? It looks like a gumball machine.
There we go. What are we playing tonight?
Jeff, we are in the presence of a couple of superstars today, an entire starcade devoted to two video game favorites, besides you, of course, Jeff. First is Donkey Kong Jr. and son Waffle from himself on a mad Super Pac-Man.
Oh, they're going for the variety. Pac-Man followed by Super Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. God. And Donkey Kong Jr. followed by Donkey Kong.
They usually have different games. This must be a Pac-Man special.
Yeah, variety isn't this program's strong point, is it?
Automatically yours. So Kevin is going to tell our home audience what the mystery game is. Kev?
Today's mystery game is Donkey Kong.
All right. Now
As he whispers it.
we can get on with our business here. I have a question to ask you. First one to buzz in. Answers the question, answer correctly, and you'll pick the first game.
That's like that Terry Wogan, Mike Blankety Blank, isn't it? You remember that one?
Yes, I also remember Kenny Everett always used to like nearly breaking the thing.
Is it me or does that guy looks like he's airbrushed?
Well, he's American, so yeah, he probably is.
Nice here.
Ms. Pac-Man. Okay, I thought you might.
Let's just see how shit they are.
Kevin, tell us about Ms. Pac-Man.
Ms. Pac-Man munches her way petitely through the dot while being chased by four monsters. Every dot she munches is another point on her score as she munches her way toward the Energizer.
Were the people who watched this program really in need of an explanation of what Miss Pac-Man was all about?
The best bits for this are actually the little adverts. We'll fit.
That really isn't selling the program if the best thing about it is the adverts.
Which one is it? Pac-Man player, okay. I will give you just one hint about this, not a real hint, but Zach, you might want to listen to. You can score a lot of points if you can lure all the monsters in one area. Each one of those dots, they turn blue. You can get up to, let's see, you get 200, 400, 860.
Jeff's always a bit of a player then, eh?
Yeah, I mean, he knows all the technical terminology, doesn't he, eh?
But I mean, you literally get, I think you get about 40 seconds to play it.
Well, it's taking them about half hour just to get to the point where they play it, and then they play it for 40 seconds. Yeah.
There's probably about 5 minutes of actual gameplay in the whole thing. Oh, she's got 50 seconds. Now, let's see if we can jump to one of the adverts. These are usually fantastically bad. Oh, hang on. Archie, be quiet.
4,730. Well played, Zach. Nice score. You stay right here, okay? And I hope you'll stay there too, because we're back to the set. Believe me, see who gets to choose the next game right here on Starcade.
He's looking a bit bloody smug for my liking.
Oh, that's an unusual one for American. Drifts away in the player's balloonal.
How's the sound? Is it quite loud? Aye, is it alright?
No, I'm barely hear it, but I'm not that sorry actually.
Yeah, no. Hang on.
Retro Russ, Archie is telling us that he thinks his TV show is crap. You know what? Archie ain't the only one.
How shit is that?
Oh, what the fucking hell is that?
Okay, thanks a lot, RB5X. You go on, get back in your position.
RB5X. Anyway, enough of that pish.
Yeah, that was quite something.
It was obviously a thing of its time, I would imagine. But yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Right, let's. We're kind of. It's getting a bit late, so let's see. I think we've done that. I don't have any other. I don't think there's any other questions. Oh, hang on a wee second. Let's see. Question for next Waffle. This is from Milthy Swinbuckle. Excuse me. With so many, put my teeth back in. With so many modern games coming out, what do you think? Why do you think that a lot of us older gamers prefer the older games? After all, the graphics and sound of yesteryear just can't compete with the modern day. I know that there is always a case for nostalgia, but surely this can't be the only reason. Why do you play older games rather more modern, Chris? Or do you play?
Well, I mean, I do play some modern games, but the majority of the time I'm playing the older ones. And for me, the answer is simply, well, at least there is some variety in the older ones. I mean, so many of the newer ones, it's like, okay, it looks a bit different, but it plays exactly the same as every other fucking game that, is being released. Oh, it's a new AAA game, and oh, look, it's a first-person shooter. God, I haven't seen one of them for at least half an hour, At least there was variety back in the day.
I think that is the biggest problem now. Because of games, I mean, I don't know how much what a game budget must be. Must be tens of millions, probably more than that, eh?
It's got to be around. Yeah, so I think didn't was it Mass Effect 4? Didn't that cost something like about 60 million? And look at the fucking state of it when it came out. So you wonder where the money went to.
What did you see Mass Effect 4?
Yeah, the Andromeda one.
Never.
I mean, Mass Effect is not a great example for me because I thought the first one was okay. I liked the second one. I utterly detest the third one. I never even looked at the fourth. Oh, I saw some videos of it, saw the state it was released in, and just thought, no, I'm not going anywhere near that.
I know my mate. He played. I think he completed the first one like 3 times, and it was something like 100 hours or something he put into it.
I do like role-playing games, but I'm very fussy about them. They have to absolutely grab me right from the word go. If you haven't played it yet and you are in any way interested in role-playing games, the first Dragon Age game, definitely, and either of the 2 Neverwinter Nights games. Those 3 titles are essential.
Are they as good as V?
I could almost say they're nearly as good as V.
Have you actually found anybody else that likes V?
No, I am, to this day, I'm the only person I know who likes it. I know some people think I was taking the piss when I chose that, but I genuinely do like that game.
Sorry, I'm going to turn my video. Obviously, I did play it, and I can't even remember what video it was called. But one of the videos that we put out, I was forced to play V, and I simply didn't have a bloody clue what I was doing.
Well, that website that you had gone to try and find out how you got through the flashing doors at the start, I mean, that made it sound so monumentally complicated. It's just a simple number puzzle thing. That's all it is. But I mean, you do have to be a little bit lucky. Sometimes at that start you get a combination where you could be there for half a fucking hour trying to sort it out. So yeah, it can be a bit of a pain. When I did my review of it, which was years and years ago, it's got to be about 4 years ago I did it, I said at the start, this review could go seriously tits up because I could be stuck in this like tiny little section here, but thankfully I actually managed to get through it fairly quickly.
I just think, as we're talking about, I mean, modern games now, because of the big budgets, companies are not willing to take any chances. And
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Which is why you've got the same, I mean, I don't know how many FIFAs there are, and every single game is just another take on a first-person shooter. And there's no, I don't think there's any challenge. There's no challenge to a game. I mean, I was doing an arcade club a couple of weeks ago, and I was watching these guys put like 2 million points on Defender. And they're like
Yeah.
robots, these guys. It's incredible to watch.
Yeah.
You never say to anybody, "Oh bloody hell, look how good you are at I don't know, fucking Call of Duty or whatever it is." It's just modern games now. You get to have it, checkpoint, you die, you restart, get on, and it's just there's no real skill. It's just
That's
it's
it.
almost like just keep trying. Some might say that about my China Miner videos, but there is skill to play old games.
Well, and the other thing is with the newer ones, you keep trying, but you've only got to do it once, and then you never have to go through that bit again, and you just carry on going. So, and of course, you always have like infinite lives. There's no sort of like game over, right? You're going back to the start the next time you play it, sort of thing.
Aye.
So, yeah, it's
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there is. I mean, the AC 31987 saying depends which modern game you're playing. To be honest, yeah, I'm sure there are some genuinely challenging games, but I think the ones that appeal to mass market are just kind of. I always remember Stuart Campbell did a video on was it Sonic Adventure or something on. It was one of the Sonic games on the Dreamcast or something, and he said that he blue tacked the joypad in the up position, and he didn't even watch the screen. He said he just kept hitting the fire button, making it jump, and he says he ended up like getting to like the fifth level with no skill at all. So just fucking constant, you know what I mean?
Now the exception that does spring to mind, I mentioned it just then, is Cuphead. That almost goes from one extreme to the other, though. We've gone from games being really easy, and then you get that thing come along, and it is ludicrously hard.
It's a beautiful game, though, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not a big fan of that particular animation style, but I mean, there's no way I'm going to. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to sit here and say no, it looks awful. Of course it doesn't. It looks fucking amazing. But the game, it could do with, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but it could do with being perhaps a little easier.
Aye, I think did you ever complete it though?
No, I never got anywhere near it. I got to the second island. The thing is, I did the same thing as you. When I did my review video of it, that was the last time I played it.
I think so, a bit of palm things like that. Sorry, you kind of broke Ox broke my concentration. He was just saying there, what was that late night game review program with 3 girls? I'm sure one of them ended up doing porn.
Doesn't mean a thing to me.
Bullet hell. I don't know. If anyone finds out, link below. Stick in the comments.
Yeah. I wonder if it's going to be on. Oh, let's face it can't be any worse than that other bloody program we were watching a few minutes ago.
I'm just looking at Ian Hunter. Ian made a post. Fabulous Wonder still owes me 50 klebs. Does that mean anything to you at all?
Yeah, I had Fabulous Wonder back in the day, and I've also done a review of it.
Have you?
That game was actually programmed to be impossible, which of course we didn't know back in the day. So you got this, yeah. So you got this game, it was 10 quid, and there was no way you could actually win.
Aye, it was something like the cover. It was something like a sort of space exotic adventure or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something along them lines. Yeah.
Aye. You know what? For an absolutely god awful game, it was a game. I mean, I got a copy of it from somewhere, and I'm sure somebody asked me a question a while back about a crap game that you end up getting addicted to, and that was I got addicted to the bit where you go into the casino.
That was what you basically kept trying to do, because you remember, right, okay, at the end of the last one, I was like 50 klebs short, so I need, 9,500. So you're going to the casino, oh, right, I've got 9,500, and you find out, oh, you're 50 klebs short again. So, and that was the thing about it being programmed to be impossible, because it was always asking for, your total plus 50 or something.
And what was it? It was just basically higher or lower. That was all it was, wasn't
it? Yeah, I think that's all it was. Yeah. I remember reading an interview with Rob Hubbard, and he said that the Fabulous Wonder was the greatest game he'd ever played. The reason he thought that was because it was written purely in BASIC, and you could break into it and just reprogram it and have it change it around so it was doing all sorts of other shit as well as what was actually in the game to begin with.
It's funny, for such an old game that was absolutely shit, there's so many people. I mean, I'm surprised that you're aware of it, and obviously Ian used to play it as well, and so did I.
I forget what it was that it was in some magazine like Commodore User or something. It was certainly a good year or two before Zap 64 came along, and I saw something in there, and it mentions our Fabulous Wonder, and I just thought, yeah, I wouldn't mind trying that. I mean, I was only about 10, I think, at the time, so of course the slightly adult content of it went completely over my head. But yeah, we did end up getting it.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see. There we go. And we can't actually see that. I'm just trying to bring up cover. There we go. Right, I don't know. See if I can link to that. See if I can open it up in this thing. Share screen and application. Can you see that?
Yeah, that's it.
There we go. The Fabulous Wonder. Yeah. Maybe I can now understand why prepubescent young boys wanting to play the game. It's rather exciting.
Yeah, I was only 10, you know.
Yeah, there you go. The Fabulous Wonder and the Secret of Life, the universe and everything.
Oh, 83 that one came out. Okay, so I was 11. There you go.
So was that...
So it must have been almost brand new when I got it then, because I'm sure it was around 83 that we got this.
That was an early game.
Yeah.
So are you telling me that this game you couldn't... So was basically the gambling part all you could actually do?
Pretty much, yeah. Because... Well, yeah, I mean, it was programmed, so it was impossible. Because, you know, there was that section where if you wanted to meet with Wanda or something, you had to buy the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster. So I even remember the name of the drink. Actually, no, it was Pan-Galactic Brain Wangler, I think, something like that. And it always cost some astronomical amount. So you would make a note of how much it cost, head to the casino and say, right, okay, and keep on plugging away for over an hour, I think, trying to amass the klebs. And then you think, right, I finally got enough. So he went back there and said, okay, yeah, I'll buy her a drink, and the price had gone up. It was programmed so it would always take like your total and then add, I think, like 10% or something. So you never could amass enough credits or klebs rather to actually get through.
It was just an infinite loop. It was a very, very cleverly written game then.
Yeah.
I think you just described a video that you're going to have to do. You're going to need to do a Fabulous Wonder, the conspiracy of why this game was impossible to complete.
Well, I mentioned it in the review vid that I did of it. Actually, I cut it into two. I sort of did an ending, and I said, right, well, there is a bit more if you want to hear it. And then in the other bit on the end, that's when I started talking about the fact that the game was actually written to be impossible.
Do you know that for a fact, Chris?
Yeah. It was again. It was actually in that same Rob Hubbard interview, and he was going through. Yeah, he found the routines and that where it would calculate how much she would always ask for the drink, which you had to give her before you could actually meet her. And he found where it said it took the amount that you had and then added. I think he added like it. Would add like 10% on top of it, so no matter how much you'd got, it was never going to be enough.
Clever. It's just mental to think how we played such a, no pun intended, a basic game, and you kind of thought, you kind of really felt like you were in this kind of deep space adventure. It's mental. But that's how it was. you had to fill in the gaps in your head.
Yeah, that's exactly why I again prefer the older games to the new ones, because the older ones relied on you having an imagination, and you would, you could picture it to yourself what was happening there. With the new ones, of course, no imagination needed, which is just as well, because so many of the kids today don't have any imagination. It's all there in front of them, and it's just not the same.
Aye, no, it is. Everyone's just laid out for you. So, case in point, you play something like Forza 4, it looks incredible, but you're just like, yeah, whatever. So, I'm just looking at Ox is saying, any plans for Arcade Club? I'm off start of April. Yeah, I definitely want to get back down there again. Probably won't be in April. Just need to see how things go, but I'd definitely like to get. Do you fancy that, Chris, at any point? Well, that's quite far, wasn't it?
Yeah, whereabouts is it?
It's Bury.
Oh, blimey, yeah, that's quite a way for me. Yeah.
How far is that for you?
It's got to be over 200 miles.
Is it? Oh, that's not quite as far as well. A bit further from you, that enough. Ray is asking the top 3 C64 musicians.
In no order: Chris Hulsbeck, Jerome Tell, and it's got to be Rob Hubbard. Although having to leave out Fred Gray does rather sort of like, but yeah, it's got to be those 3.
Fred Gray, he was. I don't think he. Maybe I'm talking shite here. Was he sort of technically as competent as these other guys? I mean, I don't. Was his music? I mean, like, the 3 people I would say. I wasn't a massive fan of Ben Dalglish's music.
No, I must admit his music was very hit and miss, and a lot of the time it was miss.
Sadly missed, and he was a genius. I mean, I was going to say Way of the Exploding Fist. What do you call it? The Last Ninja is incredible, but I think I can only go by the bits of music that I like. Absolutely, my most favouriteest bit is going to be Monty and the Run. So for that reason, I'm going to say Rob Hubbard. But I think Martin Galway, some of the stuff that he put out, like Whizball and that kind of stuff, he was actually able to I think he was able to sample sound effects into his kind of music.
Yeah, he used. I know he certainly used samples in the Arkanoid theme, which was fantastic.
Kind of bass, kind of.
Yeah, because he would often say he wished he had access to the drivers that Rob Hubbard used, because when it came to percussion, Rob Hubbard was basically way ahead of everybody else, and he just couldn't get it right at all. So he ended up using samples in the Arkanoid one to get the percussion done for that particular piece. I mean, there's no way I would say that Martin Galway was not a decent C64 musician. Of course he was, but he just wouldn't be in my top 3.
Yeah, I'm going to play Arkanoid, the Sid tune. Let's just listen to this for a second. Can you hear that okay, Chris, yeah?
Oh yeah, very familiar with that one.
Damned impressive. Nice.
I remember the Spectrum version of Cobra had a version of that piece of music as well.
Aye. What's your other? In fact, I'm going to let you hear a little tune, and it's funny how sometimes my favourite music doesn't have to be the most technical, but one of my favouriteest little tunes is Flight Path by Analog Software, and it's a real short bit of music, but I don't know, I just love it. Right, let's see if I can find it. Here we go. That is it. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, something like that, it shows, yeah, like you're saying, it doesn't have to be technically, impressive to be decent music. There was another game that's a good example of that, was one we mentioned the last time we did one of these vids, in Master of the Lamps.
All
I mean,
right.
I think the music in that game is fantastic, but, I mean, it's certainly not up there with the likes of, Rob Hubbard and co.
Right, so I'll stick that on just now. Here we go. Master of the Lamps.
That's the main theme. The
Oh,
best...
another one. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Yeah, this one. Is that Sid play you got running there?
So what, Fred Gray-wise, what would you say it was kind of up
Well,
there?
Mutants is probably the one that most people are familiar with. So the only problem with Fred Gray, and it's why I think people think, like you were saying, that technically he wasn't up there with the best. The drivers that he had were not particularly great, and it's a bit of a sore point because he wasn't actually part of Ocean's team. He was with Denton Designs and that, so he was sort of brought in to do what particular games and that. He wasn't given access to the Ocean audio drivers that Galway used, and who's the other one? Oh, what's his fucking name?
David. No.
No, it was another one of the Ocean musicians. He was the one who actually created the Ocean music audio drivers.
Was he a famous musician, aye?
Jonathan Dunn, that's it.
Oh, aye.
So Fred Gray wasn't given. Yeah, Ray C just got it there. Yeah, Jonathan Dunn is the one, and he was the one who actually wrote the drivers that Ocean used. But yeah, Fred Gray wasn't given access to it, so he used his own. And to be honest, his own drivers weren't that great, and he'll be the first to tell you that. One of the things I do like about Fred Gray, there is no ego at all. I mean, you compare him to Martin Galway and Jonathan Dunn. Those two both had egos the size of fuck knows what. But Fred Gray was, completely laid back. He's one of those who always said, well, he won't talk up anything that he had done, which I always like. When people do that, I don't want to hear anything arrogant or anything like that.
Yeah. Did he pass away recently? I think he did.
Fred Gray.
Yeah.
No, I think he's still going. He doesn't do anything.
If he's watching the stream.
I don't think he's actually involved in like music writing or anything like that now. I think he works at the University of Liverpool, and I think it is something music-wise there, but he doesn't actually write any himself now.
Mm-hmm. But for me, as I've mentioned this before, up there with the single most impressive sound that I've ever heard on a C64 is this. Now, it'll probably take me a few bits to actually get it. It's the bagpipes in the World Games.
Oh, yes.
Now, who did the music? Steve Mage. Wait till you hear this. I'll need to go through it until I find it. Not that.
I mean, I did a review of World Games a while ago. I think the way they got the bagpipe sound is fantastic. If there's anyone watching this who is not familiar with it, take a listen.
Hang on. Listen to this. absolutely nailed it. I mean,
Yeah, he's got it just bang on. How they could do that on a 64 mod, it just shows how good the SID chip was again.
see another guy that again maybe like he doesn't have the same advanced tools, but I thought he done some cracking music. Was the guy that did is it Neil Brennan, Melbourne House?
I know the name, but I can't place
Well,
any particular piece he did.
He did a Exploding Fist. I mean, so I'm just indulging myself here a wee bit. Castle of Terror. Wait till you hear this. Castle of Terror is just bloody awesome. Bear in mind it's a scary adventure game. This is good, this bit. It's so atmospheric, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to even consider attempting to do something like that on a 64, most people wouldn't have even bothered trying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't help but be impressed by that.
Oh, just amazing. And like, we can't obviously not feature this. I didn't mean for that one, hang on a minute. I mean, just listen to the voices that they've used for that bit of music.
They're using a lot of filters by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Neil Brennan, his name was. Ray's seen here also did The Hobbit. Did The Hobbit have music?
I don't remember The Hobbit having music, no. Unless it was only on the disc version, because I only had cassette version back then.
That'll be a minute. The Hobbit. You have piqued my interest, young man. Right, let's see. Hobbit. The Hobbit. Oh, wait a minute. Right, hang on. Let's listen to this. I don't remember listening to that before.
What's this from?
That's The Hobbit.
Okay, I don't remember that at all.
The weird thing is, it says it's The Hobbit, Melbourne House.
I mean, I recognise the piece of music. I can't remember the title of it, but
wait a minute. Hang on. Right. That's interesting. I'm looking at this game base now. It says here The Hobbit was released in 1983 by Melbourne House.
That sounds right, yeah.
But then 1985, they re-released it with colour graphics. Yes.
I thought it had colour graphics to begin with.
Aye, but this is high res.
Oh, okay.
So they've actually re-released it and they've added this music, which is why.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So that's where it's from. That's why I don't recognise it then.
No, I didn't even know it had music either. I didn't know. Right, listen, I think we so much for we'll stick to 10 o'clock, mate.
Yeah.
It's a 1 hour 30. We could have bloody done these games after all, hey, but
anyway. Yeah. Oh well.
So listen, guys, it's late. It's time for bed. It's 5 to 11. Thanks to everybody for joining Chris and myself tonight. Apologies for not really looking at we do look at your comments. But I think you've been talking amongst yourselves anyway, so it's always good fun. Chris and I will be putting out a video probably next week. 10 of the worst sports games ever on the 8 and 16-bit machines. I think they're actually. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, I think they're all home computer, and there's
yes,
crackers in there.
Oh yes, yeah, crackers, all right, yeah.
For a treat. So anyway, guys, I think we're going to bring this video to a close. Thanks again to everybody for joining Chris and I. Thanks to you, Chris, for joining it, mate. It's always nice to have you on the channel.
No worries.
Okay, mate, and we'll catch you next week. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.